Hey, quick question. Why does scrolling through your phone for hours feel effortless, but getting up to do something important feels like dragging a boulder uphill? Why is it so easy to binge watch an entire series, but folding laundry feels like you're running a marathon barefoot? No, it's not you being lazy, it's your brain. And today, I'm going to show you how to hack your dopamine to make those hard things feel easy. By the end of this, you'll be wondering why you didn't know this sooner. So, let's talk about dopamine. People call it the pleasure chemical. But that's only half the story. Dopamine isn't just about feeling good, it's about wanting something. It's what drives you to open that bag of chips at midnight or to watch just one more episode. Your brain is wired to seek dopamine hits. But here's the catch, not all dopamine is created equal. The things that are easy and instantly gratifying, like social media, junk food, and Netflix, give you a quick dopamine spike. But they also come with a crash that makes harder, more fulfilling tasks feel even more impossible. On the other hand, things like working out, reading, or starting that side hustle give you a slow burn dopamine release that actually makes you feel better long term. So, how do you trick your brain into wanting the good stuff? Step 1. Make hard things more rewarding. Let's say you need to study for an exam or work on a project. Pair it with something you enjoy. Listen to your favorite music while cleaning, or promise yourself a small reward after completing a task. Your brain starts to associate the hard thing with the reward, and suddenly it's not so hard anymore. Crazy, right? Think of it like giving your dog a treat after a trick, except you're the dog, and the trick is replying to that email you've been avoiding. But here's a hack that blew my mind. Dopamine stacking. This is when you combine multiple sources of dopamine to supercharge motivation. Imagine you need to go for a run. Bring your favorite podcast along. Now you're not just running, you're also getting entertained. Double the dopamine, double the fun. And it doesn't have to stop there. What if you wore your favorite workout gear, ran to your favorite coffee shop, and got a small treat after? That's a dopamine triple stack sandwich. Delicious. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done. I hear you. There are days when getting out of bed feels like lifting a car. On those days, use the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself you only need to do the task for 2 minutes. Just 2. Because starting is the hardest part. More often than not, you'll keep going beyond those 2 minutes. It's like tricking your brain into getting over that initial hump. Ever tell yourself you'll watch just one episode and then realize you've finished the whole season? Same principle, except this time, you're using that power for good. By the way, if you're finding this helpful so far, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more than you know, and it keeps me motivated to share more tips like this. All right, back to the good stuff. Let's talk about dopamine detoxing for a second. I know, detox sounds like one of those buzzwords people throw around. But hear me out. If you constantly flood your brain with easy dopamine from things like scrolling or snacking, your baseline dopamine levels drop. That makes normal, everyday tasks feel dull. By taking a break from quick dopamine fixes, even just for a day, you reset your brain. Suddenly, that book you've been avoiding seems interesting, or that workout doesn't feel like cruel and unusual punishment. I tried this once, went a whole morning without checking my phone. Wild, right? I ended up cleaning my kitchen, finishing a book, and making breakfast that didn't come out of a box. Not because I suddenly became superhuman, but because my brain wasn't distracted by constant dopamine hits from notifications. Try it. You might be surprised by how productive you can be when you're not refreshing your feed every 10 seconds. And speaking of workouts, moving your body is one of the easiest ways to get a natural dopamine boost. No, you don't have to become a gym rat or run ultra marathons. Even a quick walk outside can do wonders. Nature plus movement equals dopamine jackpot. Plus, you might get a cool breeze, hear birds chirping, or spot a dog wearing a tiny sweater. And let's be honest, dogs in tiny sweaters are peak happiness. Another underrated hack? Visualization. Your brain releases dopamine when you anticipate a reward. Spend a few minutes visualizing how good you'll feel after finishing that task. Picture yourself crushing that presentation, enjoying your clean room, or finally crossing that nagging item off your to-do list. It sounds cheesy, but your brain can't always tell the difference between imagination and reality. Use that to your advantage. Imagine eating a slice of cake and your mouth waters. Now imagine how great it'll feel to be done with your work. Same concept, less frosting. Let's talk about habits for a second. We often rely on motivation, but motivation is flaky. It's like that friend who says they'll help you move but ghosts you on moving day. Habits, though? Rock solid. The key is to make the start of the habit as easy as possible. Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow. Trying to work out? Sleep in your workout clothes. Want to drink more water? Carry a bottle everywhere, like it's your emotional support beverage. Remove as many barriers as possible, and suddenly the path of least resistance leads to the good stuff. And here's a fun one. Gamify your life. Ever notice how video games make you want to keep playing? That's dopamine at work. You can replicate that in real life. Set mini challenges for yourself, keep score, reward yourself for small wins. Make doing chores a game, race against a timer, see how much you can get done during a single song. It sounds silly, but turning mundane tasks into a game can make them surprisingly addictive. Plus, who doesn't love a good scoreboard? Bonus points. If you make victory dances mandatory. Oh, and a quick reality check. You're going to slip up. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you spend an afternoon watching cat videos instead of working. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Celebrate the wins, learn from the losses, and keep moving forward. Remember, even one small step is better than standing still. Or worse, scrolling aimlessly until your thumb goes numb. Before we wrap up, I genuinely want to know what you think. What dopamine hack are you excited to try? Or do you have a trick I didn't mention? Drop a comment below. I read them, and your ideas might just help someone else. Plus, I love hearing your stories. Some of you are out there making life changes that inspire even me to level up. To sum it up, your brain craves dopamine. The trick is to feed it the right kind. Make hard things rewarding. Stack your dopamine sources. Move your body, and don't forget to give yourself grace. Change won't happen overnight, but with these hacks, you can make the process way easier, and dare I say, even fun. Imagine a future where working out, studying, or tackling chores isn't a battle. Feels impossible? It's not. You've got the tools now. All that's left is to use them. Thanks for sticking around. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who could use a little dopamine boost. Remember, you've got this. Now go out there, hack your brain, and make those hard things feel easy. See you in the next one. And hey, bring snacks. Life's better with snacks.